Nam mô Sakyamuni Buddhaya. Dear Sangha, today is the 12th of July 2020. We have gone through over half a year. Today is the middle of July. And if the coronavirus still prolongs, then we will have a rain retreat for half a year this year, since March. So it depends on who you are. Some people see that this condition is a disaster, but to us this is a good condition, helping monks and nuns and lay friends to be able to take refuge in the monastery and to practice. The time during the pandemic provides us more time to practice. Of course, there are certain challenges because we don't open our doors to the outside. So it is natural to be worrying about our financial conditions. But up until now, monastics have never experienced hunger, because the merits of Buddha practicing for lifetime after lifetime, that merit is protecting us. So we know that it might be challenging. It might be challenging in the way we eat, but death by hunger, then that will unlikely to happen. So do not worry. From now on until the end of the year, if we are not opening, then we can still live and smile. So the pandemic can be scary to a group of people, but it can be a beneficial condition for the other group of people. And so there is a story I would like to tell you, a history of meditation, so that we can apply in our life. There was a Zen master, famous Zen master in China in the 14th century. I don't remember what his name is, but he is famous in a great monastery. And then they asked him to be the abbot of a temple, a greater temple, constructed by the government in order to help the monastics. And the abbot back then had more power than the abbots of Plum Village. The abbots in Plum Village, they do not have the responsibility to bear the entire Sangha on their shoulders, to oversee the construction or so on. But the abbot back then in China has a lot of responsibilities. His attainment was strong. His merit was able to protect thousands of people. So he was like an emperor. And so he was asked to be the abbot, and then the first time he gave a Dharma talk, just like I am sitting right now. And after a couple of minutes, he got into the Dharma talk, then he just got a stroke, and he lost controls all of his four limbs, and he could not talk. He was living a vegetation life. He could still recognize. Well, he could still speak, but just a little bit. He can still sit up, but he was very weak. And he was like that for 13 years. His attendants had to take care of him. And so being an abbot for only a very short time, haven't even completed a Dharma talk yet, but he was already suffering from his stroke for 13 years. And on the 13th year, he asked one of his attendants to help him up, give him a bath, put on his robes, put him on the podium for a Dharma talk. And his attendant was very surprised. So the Zen master said, "No, this is just the last day. This is a farewell to the Sangha." And someone had to help him because he could not yet sit up straight by himself. And so when they walked with him to the podium, the Zen master read a gatha that proved that he had attained the highest understanding. Just like the gatha that we usually read, that what needs to be done has been done. The holy life has been lived fully. And he said, "Thank you to this stroke, to this health condition that I had to lay still for 13 years. And thanks to that, I was able to attain the highest understanding. I was able to do what needed to be done. And so I like to express my gratitude today. So please remember that all conditions that come to us are not obstacles. I am the living proof of that saying, because when I was sick, I was not able to run back and forth. I was not held responsible to be an abbot for any other monastery, or to be a representative going here or there. And so I was able to lay still and to complete my practice. And so please remember that don't see sickness as an obstacle, but as a useful condition to practice. I don't remember his name, but today I just remembered about the story. So I shared this with you in order to help us to see that the useful conditions are happening to us every day. If we nourish our bodhicitta, then any condition can help us to grow. External conditions like obstacles, struggles have a lot of aspects, not just material. Sometimes material needs are sufficed, but sometimes we are not in harmony with one another. We are unsatisfied living with our brothers. This is natural. Not everyone is satisfied with the one who is sitting next to us. Just like in lay life, a man has to go and seek for a woman for so long, and then when they get married, and not for so long, he realized that he was tricked, and he prays that he can find another person. And for us, we were born in many countries, nourished in different cultures. Our personalities are different, our likings are different. And we live together. So we need to understand that even with the precepts, even with the categories, the rules set by the monastery, it is certain that it is possible to still have unharmony in the Sangha. But if we know how to apply that any conditions, good or bad, that come to us, then we can still use those conditions towards our advantage. There are good friends, but also there are friends who still have a lot of negative habit energy around us. But those friends can also help us to increase our endurance. This endurance is very needed to go fully on this path of practice. Just a little bit of enduring someone who's next to us, that is nothing. Because in the future, when old age comes to us, when death comes to us, then we still be able to dwell in concentration and mindfulness, so that when we pass, we'll pass with ease. That is not simple. So when someone has a strong and far view into the future, they know how to increase their endurance. And when the endurance is great, then they can walk all the way on this path. And if we don't have strong will, then little things in life can decrease the strength of our mind, causing fear within ourselves, and we cannot go forth. Do you know that opening the roads from the east to the west of the US, many lives were laid down? We see that the deserts are vast. We cannot imagine that if we keep going, we can see the ocean. And nothing, struggles don't stop when someone has reached his success, like President Trump. Not a single day that he, since his presidency, he was able to be at peace. The coronavirus is also affecting the economy of the US. And the pandemic is not yet cooling down. Then comes the riots from groups of people in the name of racial justice, causing chaos throughout the country. So we need to know that even on the path towards position, we need compassion, we need endurance. And that is only to find a little bit of money, a little bit of fame. But in the end, what do we get? The most we can get is to be stuck in our feelings, happiness or sadness. No matter how strong you are as a president, after 8 years, you will still have to leave, return to your regular life. So, we can see that when we go on the path of practice, the path that we are walking is not to attain fame, position, money, or romantic love, but to realize the holy life, realize our true nature of a saint, so that we have the strength to face our suffering. If we cannot cross that, if we cannot transform our sufferings, then our karma will sink us, will drown us in birth and death. One lifetime, we see that it is a very long time. Sometimes when we look at ourselves, we might not see it, but when we see our relatives, people who are getting old, we can see that not a single elderly who doesn't have certain sufferings, who doesn't degrade in their appearance, health, and mental health. When we go to nursing homes, we can see that it is such a pity for a lot of elderlies. So no matter how well we keep our body, keep ourselves young, I challenge anyone, even the holy beings, can stand against old age. Each day is each day we are dying. And so the final challenge of a person's life is death. And so if in this very life our practice is not strong, our transformation has not yet been enough to filter all suffering, we always have complexities, that this is me, this is mine, then we will not be able to avoid the results that once we leave this body, we have to find another physical body. This is natural. And when we have to repeat another lifetime, when we were born, we cry as a baby, and then we learn to walk, learn to run, and then we learn to be happy, we learn to be sad, we learn to be disappointed, learn to get old, and then learn to die. That is the life cycle. In the Agama, the Buddha said that if we can collect all tears of a person throughout his life, cry because of birth, cry because of parting with his relatives, cry because of pain, cry because of death, then those tears can be as vast as an ocean. And so, if we know how to make use of the conditions around us, regardless of the struggles, whether in our lifestyle or people who we live with, then we can train ourselves, our minds, to dwell in the practice. Then, only then we can have the hope to cross the shore of sufferings and to face our sufferings, to live deeply with the practice, to be diligent in the practice. Then we can face old age. First, we can face the sufferings of ourselves. We have emptiness, we have worries and anxieties within ourselves, restlessness. This is not due to the external conditions, due to our brothers, sisters, or our Sangha, but because of our own mind storing these seeds for so long. Now they are rising and dragging us along. And if we are weak, and then it is certain that we cannot bind ourselves to the practice for our whole life. And when we do not practice diligently, solidly, then we are wasting this lifetime. So many lifetimes we have wasted. And so, this lifetime we are lucky enough to meet the Buddha and Sangha and the Dharma. This practice is even more holy than the path to find praise, fame, money, and sex. This path leads us to the ultimate goal, is to realize the highest understanding, putting an end to this samsara, this life cycle, through millions of lifetimes. So this path requires our intelligence, our endurance, transforming all of our challenges and sufferings so that all struggles become composts. And if we are intelligent enough like this, then we can have the hope to achieve some parts, to attain some parts of the fruit of understanding in this lifetime. If not, then we will be lost. And if we cannot dwell in the practice, then we will surely waste this lifetime. That is the first I like to remind ourselves. The conditions in this life is the same, but some people can make use of these conditions to advance. And some people, they are drowned. Specifically in this pandemic, there are places that they make use of the lockdown, not coming in contact with anyone, so that they can do personal retreats. They can practice for themselves, just like us. That is a smart way to invest their time. Some struggles in eating, but they don't mind. They don't mind traveling. They just dwell in the practice. They do not complain. This is the way of coping, of transforming the negative conditions into compost to feed our energy of practice. But some people in this very same condition, they are in fear, in anxiety, running back and forth. And so we can apply this in our very life, very practice. People who have the strong will, very strong will, then I challenge you to drown them, like President Trump. Since he became president, he has been attacked so many times. But what he wants to do, he is still doing it. And still promising that the second of the re-election, he will still be re-elected. And doing his best to raise his children. And his business doesn't fall just because of the public attacks him. So we know that when we have the willpower, we can turn seemingly what is seemingly to be negative conditions towards our advantage, turning all struggles into benefits to feed our energy of practice, just like the Venerable monk I was sharing about, giving his first Dharma talk, and then he got a stroke for 13 years, but then he said, "Thank you to the stroke for coming to me, so that in 13 years I could not move and go anywhere. And so now I can say that the holy life has been lived. What needs to be done has been done. Goodbye to all. Now I am entering Nirvana." Now that is the first thing I want to share with all of us. Because some people, they see that negative conditions are an obstacle. But some people who have the strong will, the endurance, then none of the struggles can make them feel that their practice is disturbed. This is the first thing. Second thing is, sometimes we feel like we don't have enough time to practice, but the physical time, there's only so much. But for people who do not know how to practice, then 24 hours in a day, they are drowned in sufferings, anger, sadness, thinking about the past, taking old files of the past to fill their mind with anxiety and sorrow. The second thing, the same 24 hours, but they let their projects, their calculations about the future to fill their present moment, destroying their moment. And when the past and the future are flooding the present moment, then we become tangled in our mind, unclear, we become anxious. Our mind is filled with those negative mental formations, and because of that, our energy is depleted. We're not old yet, but we look so old. Those worries will deteriorate our quality of living. The past helps to build our present moment, and there is the future so that our dreams can come true. So in life, there is a length of the past and the future. We cannot deny this. But in reality, in where life truly happens, it doesn't happen in the past or the future. The past has been gone, future has not yet come. So true reality, true life is only happening in this present moment. And only those who know how to live in the present moment, observing each breath, observing each contact with the objects, then that is called someone who knows how to practice in the present moment. If we do not know how to live like this, then our life is only moments in a dream, but not someone who knows how to live, because we let the past drowns us in regret, in anxiety, in suffering. But in reality, even if the suffering, the greatest suffering in the past, cannot drown us in this present moment. We were tortured, we were stepped on by others. People brought about sufferings onto ourselves, but that has already passed. That suffering cannot rise in this present moment to drown us, because in this present moment, that is not happening. People who in the past caused us suffering, or people who we fell in love with that caused us suffering, all of that has passed. So if we dwell in the present moment, recognizing everything that is coming to us, all conditions that are opening to us, then the past cannot destroy us. So if we know how to live, each day we advance, we step forth, then the beauty, the lovable conditions of this present moment will become the past when tomorrow is here with us. So if the more we dwell in the present moment, having true happiness in this present moment, in today, then Even if time comes to us, the more time comes to us, then the more we will have a wonderful past. For example, today we have a lot of beauty in our monastic life. So 5 years from now, we look back, we see that, oh, so there was a time of that corona pandemic causing sufferings to so many people. But in the midst of all that, I remember that I had wonderful moments of practice. This is the proof that a life can be 100, 200 years. Still have a lot of dark past or challenging future, but if we know how to live in the Dharma, in every minute, every moment, and we can deal with our suffering more easily. Not just the suffering from the past, but the suffering from the future. They cannot affect us. So living a life like that, and we deserve to be a practitioner. If we let sufferings from the past destroying our present moments, then that is that we still lack that strength in the practice. We are like cars going from the east to the west to the south. I don't know how long the road is, a couple of thousand miles, but the life is very short. Where it truly happens is very short, just like the contact of the tires and the road. It passes so quickly. The Buddha taught us to recognize each breath, because life truly only happens in each breath. So if we can practice like that, we can put an end to sadness from the past, ending worries from the future. The wonder of it is, if we dwell in the present moment, then we can taste the fruit of the practice, a happiness. Happiness in the present moment. Then we can spread this positive energy of practice to the past and to the future, to transform the sufferings of the past and the future. So the basic practice seems to be simple, only to dwell in our breath. Now, but that is already enough to establish a foundation, a strong foundation of our practice to bear the fruit of happiness. When we end the sufferings of the past, worries and projects in the future that are causing worries in ourselves, we can put an end to that. And then later we can see that every day that happens to us, not a single day that we are not able to dwell in happiness of the practice. And if we taste this fruit of the practice, then the external condition, like war, bombs, or fire, cannot touch you, cannot waver your mind. And sufferings, even if they take turn to rise, they cannot affect us. So, if we practice diligently like this, then we can proclaim that we have lived the holy life. what is to be done has been done in this very moment. For certain that we don't want to be reborn, and we will not be reborn. And if we want to be born again in this realm or any realm, and we can choose to do so. If we see that it is important to return to this realm, to repay the contributions of others, then we can choose to do so. That is the progress of practice. If we are intelligent enough, we can do it to ourselves in this life. The Buddha's teaching doesn't promise that in the end of the tunnel you will see the light. 30 years from now you will bear the fruit. But in this very moment, if we practice, we can taste the fruit immediately. So, to summarize, there are only two things that I'd like to share. Is that the first thing is, please take advantage of all the conditions, good or bad, around us, to see that they are the boost, they are compost, they are beneficial for our practice. The second thing is that true practitioner, we know how to live fully in this present moment, practicing diligently to generate enlightenment, to generate true happiness from within. It's 11 o'clock. We stop here. Thank you, Sangha.